So, good evening, students. Today I will explain about the valence bond theory, which was proposed by Hitler and London to explain the formation of covalent bond quantitatively using quantum mechanics, which was improved by Linus and Pauling by introducing the concept of hybridization. So, valence bond theory assumes that all bonds are localized bonds formed between the two atoms by the donation of an electron from each atom. So this theory describes the covalent bond formation as well as the electron structure of the molecule. The theory assumes that the electrons occupy the atomic orbitals of individual atoms within the molecule, and the electrons of one atom are attracted to the nucleus of another atom. So, according to this theory, a covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of two half-filled valence atomic orbitals of two different atoms. The electrons in the overlapping orbitals get paired and confined between the nuclei of two atoms. The electron density between the two bonded atoms increases due to overlapping, which confirms the stability to the molecule. So, greater the extent of overlapping, stronger is the bond formed. The direction of the covalent bond is along the region of the overlapping of the atomic orbitals. That is, covalent bond is directional. There are two types of covalent bonds based on the pattern of overlapping as follows. A sigma bond is a covalent bond formed by the linear overlapping of two atomic orbitals, whereas the pi bond is the covalent bond formed by the parallel overlapping of the two atomic orbitals. The covalent bond formed due to the overlapping of atomic orbital along the internuclear axis is called a sigma bond. It is the stronger bond and is cylindrically symmetrical. Depending upon the type of orbitals overlapping, the sigma bond is divided into the following type. The first one is sigma SS bond, second one is sigma PP bond, and third one is sigma SP bond. So this is the way how sigma SS bond is formed. One s orbital of one atom overlaps with one s orbital of another atom and forms this orbital, which we call it as a molecular orbital, wherein it is due to the overlapping of the 2s orbital. It is called as sigma SS bond. And sigma PP bond is formed between the overlapping of p orbital of one atomic orbital overlaps with the p orbital of another atomic orbital and forms the molecular orbital, which is along the internuclear axis. The overlapping is along the internuclear axis, and this is called as sigma PP bond. So this is another one. This is sigma sp bond, wherein one s orbital of one atom overlaps with p orbital of another atom and forms this kind of orbital, and this type of overlapping is called as sigma sp bond. And the covalent bond, which is formed by the side overlapping of the atomic orbitals, is called as pi bond. In this bond, the electron density, what we can see here, it is present above and below the internuclear axis, and it is relatively weaker bond when compared to sigma bond, since the electrons are not strongly attracted by the nuclei of the bonding atoms. And if we take the example of some of the molecules, it is the example. Let us take first the hydrogen molecule. The electronic configuration of hydrogen atom in the ground state is 1s1. So in the formation of hydrogen molecule, if we take the two half-filled 1s orbital of hydrogen atoms overlap along their internuclear axis, and they form sigma SS bond. So this is one s orbital of one hydrogen atom, and this is the 1s orbital of another hydrogen atom with 1 electron, and they overlap along the internuclear axis and form sigma SS bond. So if you take the example of chlorine molecule, the electronic configuration of chlorine atom in the ground state is given by this. That is, in the outermost orbital, it has 1 electron in the px orbital. So the two half-filled px atomic orbitals of two chlorine atoms, they overlap along the internuclear axis and form sigma pp bond. So this is the one px orbital of one chlorine atom. This is another px orbital of another chlorine atom. Each have 1 electron and they overlap along the internuclear axis and form sigma pp bond. If we take the example of hydrogen chloride, so what we can see, hydrogen, the electronic configuration of hydrogen atom is 1s1, and the ground state configuration of chlorine atom is, in the outermost orbital it has got 1 electron in the px orbital. So the half-filled 1s orbital of hydrogen atom overlap with the half-filled px atomic orbital of chlorine atom along the internuclear axis and forms sigma sp bond. So this is how we can show the formation of hydrogen chloride molecule by this way. So if you take the example of oxygen atom, the electronic configuration of oxygen atom in the ground state is given like this. So wherein it has two, it has got the electrons, 2 electrons in the outermost orbital. One is in py or 2py orbital, another one is 2px orbital. So the half-filled py orbital of 2 oxygen atoms, they overlap along the internuclear axis and forms sigma pp bond. So the remaining half-filled px orbital, they overlap to form pi pp bond. So py orbitals, they overlap and form sigma pp bond, and the another px orbital, they overlap internally and laterally and they form sigma pp bond. So this is how the double bond which occurs between the two oxygen atoms in case of oxygen molecule, one is sigma pp, another one is sigma pi pp, is formed between the two oxygen atoms. So this is how we can show. This is one py orbital of one oxygen atom. This is another py orbital, another oxygen atom. They overlap and form sigma pp bond. Another one is, that is a side overlapping of the px orbital of one atom overlaps with another atom and forms a pi bond. So this is how we can show the presence of two bonds. One is sigma bond, another one is a pi bond in case of oxygen molecule. So in case of nitrogen molecule, if we see, the sigma pp is formed between the two nitrogen atom, which is due to the overlapping of half-filled px atomic orbital along the internuclear axis. So the remaining half-filled py and pz orbital form sigma pp, pi pp bonds due to the lateral overlapping. Thus, a triple bond, 1 sigma and 2 pi bond is formed between the two nitrogen atom. So this is 1 sigma pp overlapping bond which is formed between the two py orbitals of atomic orbitals of nitrogen atom, and 1 px orbital of one atom overlaps with another px and form 1 pi pp bond. Another py orbital overlaps with another pz orbital overlaps with another pz orbital of another oxygen atom and forms totally 3 bonds, 1 sigma bond and 2 pi bonds in case of nitrogen molecule. So let us start now the discussion on the hybridization. So the intermixing of 2 or more pure atomic orbitals of one atom with at least same energy to give the same number of identical and degenerate new type of atomic orbitals is known as hybridization. The new orbitals formed are known as hybrid orbitals. During the hybridization, that the atomic orbitals with different characteristics are mixed with each other. So these are the types of hybridization. One is sp, sp2, sp3, sp3d, sp3d2, sp3d3. So if we take the example of sp hybridization, which is the intermixing of one s and one p orbital of almost equal energy to give two identical and degenerate hybrid orbitals, and this is called as sp hybridization. The sp hybrid orbitals are arranged linearly, making 180 degree of an angle. So this is the mixing which takes place, and after mixing, the orbitals formed are known as sp hybrid orbitals, and they are making at an angle of 180 degree, and these possess 50% of S character and 50% of P character. If we take the example of sp2 hybridization, which is the intermixing of 1s and 2p orbitals of almost equal energy to give three identical and degenerate hybrid orbitals, and they are known as and is known as sp2 hybridization. The three sp2 hybrid orbitals are oriented in a trigonal planar symmetry, making an angle 120 degree to each other. The sp2 hybrid orbitals, they have 33.3% S character and 66.6% P character. So if you take the example of sp3 hybridization, which includes 1s and 3p orbitals of almost equal energy and intermix to give four identical and degenerate hybrid orbitals. So these four sp3 hybrid orbitals, they oriented at tetrahedral symmetry with 109.28 angle with each other. So the sp3 hybrid orbitals, they have 25% of S character and 75% of P character. If we take the example of sp3d hybridization, wherein it takes the intermixing of 1s, 3p and 1d orbitals of almost equal energy to give 5 identical and degenerate hybrid orbitals, and they are arranged in a trigonal bipyramidal symmetry. So among the three, these are arranged in a trigonal plane, and remaining two are present one above and below the trigonal plane at right angles. So the sp3d hybrid orbitals have 20% S character and 60% P character and 20% D character. So this is how we can see sp3d hybridization. So in sp3d2 hybridization, intermixing of 1s, 3p and 2d orbitals of almost equal energy by giving 6 identical and degenerate hybrid orbitals, and this is known as sp3d2 hybridization. The sp3d2 hybrid orbitals, they are arranged in octahedral symmetry, making 90 degree angles to each other. This is the arrangement which can be visualized at 4 orbitals arranged in square planar, and the remaining 2 are oriented above and below this plane perpendicularly. So this is the arrangement of orbitals in case of sp3d2 hybrid orbitals. So in case of sp3d3 hybridization, 1s, 3p and 3d orbitals of almost same energy intermix to give sp3d3 hybrid orbitals, which are oriented in pentagonal bipyramidal symmetry. So among the 5 sp3d3 hybrid orbitals are arranged in a pentagonal plane, making an angle 72 degree at an angles, and the remaining are arranged perpendicularly above and below this pentagonal plane. So this is about the concept of hybridization, and so these are some of the shapes which we can predict based on the type of hybridization which is observed. So if we take if it is a sp hybridization, then the molecule can be predicted linear geometry. If we take 3 means sp2 hybridization means trigonal planar. If it is sp3 means